Guys, for this session, you will need a pad of paper and a pen. That's all you need. But if you can have that on hand, because we will be giving out tips and tricks for when it comes to YouTubing. And so it will be really handy if you guys have that to hand. And also, if you guys have any questions, we recommend you write it down on a piece of paper. And when we come around to our Q&A right at the end, you guys will be able to answer your questions ask your questions straight away. And hopefully we'll be able to answer them.
And guys, let's just be mindful of the chat feature as we can see what you're writing. So let's keep it clean and let's just pay attention to our session. Like I said, just stick to questions if you have any in the chat. But for the most part, everyone, I think we are good. We have over 270 people joining us right now. That's a big crowd. So we appreciate you joining. This is really, really great. Let's see, who else is here? I see Zoe from Chicago. Welcome, Zoe. Who else is here? Christian in Virginia. Colin, Tennessee. Nice, welcome. Who else? Let's see. Elena in Texas. See you. Who else do we have here? Alina's from the UK. I see you. Look at you. Welcome. Okay, guys, just less than 2 minutes before we start. We have a nice big crowd. We're over 300 people right now. Someone from Ontario. Nice. So guys that just joined, people, can we ask that you have your videos turned on? Such a big group, so we just want to make sure we can see everyone. Beautiful, beautiful, this is great, okay. So once again, my name is Chastity and I'm your moderator for today, and I work with NextJump on our Community Online Academy. And we want to thank you again for joining us today. So with that, I give you over to Faz and Divya, your instructors for today.
All right then. Thank you very much for that, Chastity. Can everyone hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me. Yeah, yeah, perfect. And thumbs up if you guys have been here before, been to a previous How to Be a YouTuber session before. Yeah, I can see Kristen, Ethan's been here before, Marcellus, lovely. Emily. Great stuff, great stuff. I can see Neil as well. Perfect. All right then. So I tell you what, hands up who can tell me how we ask and answer questions here. Can someone give me a wave if they want to have a go? Yes, Avish.
So basically we have to like do our hands like this, and then you say 3, 2, 1, and we do like this, and whoever's the first person that you see, you choose them for the questions and answerings.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you for that, Avish. So yeah, guys, because there's 350 of you guys and counting, it's really difficult for everyone to put their hands up at the same time. So to try and make it as fair and easy as possible, we ask everyone to put their hands towards the screen when we ask a question, and then we'll count them from 3. So we'll go 3, 2, 1, go. And on go, the first person to open their hands is the person we pick to answer the question. That sound good? Yeah? Perfect. All right then, guys. So I think I'll hand it over to Divya to share screen and we'll get going.
Share my screen. Give me a sec. All right, cool. So you guys should be able to see the Google Slides. Thumbs up if you can see the screen, just so I can check. Thank you. Perfect. All right, so we're just gonna introduce ourselves for those of you who don't know who we are and like, what am I learning? Who is this? So Faz, if you'd like to begin.
Yeah, guys. So Divya herself is actually a YouTuber. So some of you guys may be thinking, who is qualified enough to teach how to become a YouTuber? And that is actually Divya. She has been making YouTube videos for the past 6 years, if I'm not wrong, since she was 15. She's got over millions of views across all of her videos, and she has 67,000 subscribers. And so you guys are actually going to be learning from someone who is a full-fledged YouTuber herself.
Thank you for that, Faz. I'm going to introduce Faz. So his name is actually Faisal, but you can call him Faz. He's not a YouTuber, but what he does do is he works in the entertainment industry. That's the music industry. He's been working in that industry since he was like 15 years old. And what he does is he helps young people from disadvantaged backgrounds really break it and make it into the industry. So he knows a lot of contacts. So he knows Drake. He's worked with Beyonce and Kanye West. So he also is qualified in terms of how do we keep people entertained, and he knows a lot about the business in itself. All right. We'll have a question and answer session at the end. So if you have any questions throughout, please do make a note of what you want to ask us, and hopefully we'll get around the room and we can hopefully answer some of the questions that you might have. You're not going to need anything. All you'll need is pen and paper if you want to make some notes. Don't feel rushed to make notes though. All of these sessions are recorded. So hopefully by the end of tomorrow, this session should be up on the website if you want to rewatch it or take some notes either. And so we'll begin. So hi guys, welcome to Becoming a YouTuber. Today we're going to be talking about mistakes that newbies make and things not to do when you're starting a channel. Now this is going to be the last lesson of the series. So if you haven't been here before, don't worry, we do plan on sort of starting from the beginning next week. So if there's any lessons that you haven't been to, you can come next week and we'll start the series from afresh as well. But today we're going to be talking about the most important tips and things that you should really keep in mind, especially because I know a lot of you are probably new to YouTube, or maybe you have already started YouTube and you just want to get some tips and some tricks. So Faz, if you'd like to start with the first one.
Perfect, guys. So the first one and the most important thing which we covered in lesson number 1 is that when you're trying to make it big, when you're trying to build a YouTube channel and trying to create this incredible content, the worst thing you can do is focusing too much on views and subscribers. At the end of the day, this will come naturally. And so if you focus on how many likes you've got, or how many people have seen it, or, oh my God, only 200 people have seen it, at the end of the day, you're not going to be focusing on the important stuff, which is creating great content and uploading consistently. So the one thing we really recommend you guys is not to get caught up in how many people you have subscribed or how many views you have on your videos, and just focus on yourself, because that's the most important thing.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people get caught up in doing stuff that's really popular. So they might like to do loads of trends. If that's the type of thing you like to do, perfect, go ahead. But I think don't try and follow that if that's not true to yourself, because trends, they change all the time. And if your channel is just focused on a specific type of trend, it's not going to grow past that when people eventually get bored of it and they find something new. And the second tip, something not to do, is being afraid. I know that especially for those who might be new, they might be thinking, okay, but I need to make my first video. I don't know what to make my first video about. What do I even make? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? It doesn't matter. Don't focus on making everything perfect. So for example, you upload something, maybe it doesn't get as many views as you like, or maybe you don't even know what you want to make. Just focus on progressing. Because becoming a YouTuber, what does that even mean? It just means you create something. So don't be afraid to make the first step. Your first video doesn't have to be perfect. My first video, I think it was boring at the time. I thought it was great, but like, you don't really worry about like having the perfect video every time. I think what's more important is like make something that you feel proud of. And when you start making and uploading, some of you guys might be like, okay, I want to upload every week on a Saturday. So sometimes life gets in the way. It's just life. Sometimes you might have homework, sometimes you might have assignments, and sometimes you'll miss an upload. I say don't worry, you don't always have to upload, because more uploads doesn't mean that whatever you're putting is better, right? At the end of the day, if you miss a week, you miss 2 weeks, sometimes you have exams, that's fine as well. Like, it doesn't really matter. I think what's more important is just going back to it over time. But I'd say don't be afraid, just go out there, make something that you're proud of.
I think the next thing is when it comes to editing. So cool, you've shot this incredible video and you're about to upload, but before that you want to edit. So I think the two things which we really want to sort of make sure you guys remember is that as those of you who are in our intro lesson about how to create introductions and stuff, is that don't make your introduction too long. You will lose viewers in the first 5 to 10 seconds if you don't engage them. So Divya, can you give us a quick demonstration of how you do an intro to a video?
Oh, well, I have like a catchphrase that I've kind of like made up over time. So I'll just be like, hi guys, it's Divya G. What does the G stand for? Today, the G stands for games, because I'm going to be watching the Hunger Games. So something like that. Just like give an introduction into what is your video about, get short, straight to the point, versus if your introduction, and I'm guilty of this myself, like back in the day, my first videos, I would take 2 minutes to get to the point of the video. And 2 minutes is too long. If you think about like when you guys are watching a video, like our attention spans are so low nowadays. No one has time to be watching all of that. So keep it short, keep it sweet, get straight to the point, because people really want to see the meat of your video. They don't really care about all this like really long introduction.
And I think also, guys, when you are filming, you will find that you have all these sections which are pretty boring, or you make a mistake or you say the wrong thing. And so we would really recommend you guys learn how to do the basics of editing. So that is cutting parts of the video and trimming them together, and also deleting certain parts which you don't really think like fit the video, or maybe you made a mistake. And that will help you not only, put out better content, it means that people who watch it will be more engaged and they're more likely to come back and continue to watch your videos. So we really recommend you guys just go away and experiment and sort of learn about the basics of editing.
Perfect. Another thing is mumbling, low energy, and bad shots. Nobody wants to watch a video where you're just talking like this at the camera for the entire time. Do you see what I mean? Like when you start a video, just make sure that you have a lot of energy. Now, this doesn't mean you need to like go over the top. That's a bit too much. It just means that when you're speaking, try and be a bit clear, try and have a little bit more energy. So maybe don't mumble, don't just be like this, because you will lose people just like that. And when say you want to film yourself, whether it's vlogging, maybe you're doing a gameplay, I think having bad shots is also unattractive. So what does that mean? So if you can see in the first photo, the little boy, so there's nothing too bad about this, but as you can see, there's a lot of space around him and you can't really see his face. The thing about YouTube is that people are attracted to people. We really like seeing people's faces because that's when we can see their emotions and we can connect to them on a human level. So the first frame is a little bit too far away. You can't really see his face and there's a lot of space for no reason. The second photo is a bit too close. Now, that doesn't mean you can't do a video like that. I think do it sparingly. If your entire video is like straight up front, I think a lot of people will feel very uncomfortable with that. And you might also feel uncomfortable watching that back. So maybe don't do that. I can see Avish is demonstrating perfectly. Exactly. And the thing you want to do is make sure that when you are filming, have a very small bit of space above your head. Make sure that you have a little bit of space on the sides, but not too much. And what this helps is if you want to put like any text on the side, you'll have space to put text. If you want to put any images, you'll also have space to do that. I think what I do sometimes is I shift a little bit to the side so that if I do want to demonstrate an image or I want to hold something, there is a space here to do that as well.
And so we went through this in a whole different lesson, guys, but the one really important thing when it comes to actually people seeing your video for the first time is thumbnails and titles. Having bad titles and bad thumbnails can really impact whether someone clicks on your video. And so when it comes to writing the title, you want to make sure that it makes sense to the video and the user can see it straight away and think, okay, cool. So if I see here, 10-minute uplifting yoga flow, so I know that video immediately is about yoga. But then also you want the thumbnail to be really bright and to catch their eye. So if I'm looking through this, if I'm looking down, through YouTube and I see this video here, I'm going to be like, well, you know what, this is really eye-catching. So this is something which we really recommend you guys to do. And if you don't know how to do this, please do come along to our future sessions where we'll be recapping all of this, or you can go away and actually watch our previous lesson on this.
I know when I'm scrolling through YouTube, if the thumbnail is bad, I'm just not going to click on it. So I think a lot of people don't really put that much importance on their thumbnails. Like they think, yeah, it's fine, just make it look pretty. But your thumbnails is one of the best way to firstly grab your audience, get new people clicking. Because if a thumbnail looks good, you're more likely to click on it. All right. And then the next thing that I would say avoid is thinking that like high tech means good videos. This is a mistake that even I made. I was like, oh my God, I need to get a camera. I need to get a microphone. I need to get this. I can't even be a YouTuber. It's so expensive. YouTube does not have to be expensive by any means. Just because you have a great camera doesn't mean that your video is going to be good. It might have good quality in terms of what it looks like, but in terms of the content, that really comes down to you as an individual. And I think that's very, very important. But if you do want to kind of make sure that your content is good, just in terms of like clarity and visual, then I think the rules of AVL is important to keep in mind. What does AVL mean? It's very basic, very simple. You have to keep in mind your audio, your video, and your lighting. This applies to even if you're gaming, even if you're vlogging. It doesn't matter what type of video you make. If you have audio in it, so even if that's just music, even if that's your voice, the most important thing is it too loud or is it too quiet? Also, is there a background noise? Sometimes you can't help, people will be talking in the background, but if you can minimize this as much as you can, that'll be perfect. So maybe that means for you going into a quiet room, but I'd say try and record in a time where the background noise is as minimal as possible. Video, in terms of video, good quality, most phones can shoot HD. Some phones can even shoot 4K, so don't worry about like getting like the most high-tech expensive equipment. And in terms of lighting, I think more important than sort of like what fancy equipment you're using to shoot is lighting can make or break a video. So we went through this in a previous lesson, but just a quick recap, lighting, I think it's just important to, you know, sit in front of a window if you're going to be filming anything like yourself, so that the lighting is good, because what your video camera really needs is light to perform well. And I think don't like if you don't listen to any of this, like don't worry about like getting the most high-tech equipment, worry about your lighting and if you're speaking clearly and your audio.
Cool. And I think this is one thing that we touched on in our very first lesson, and this is something we really want you guys not to do, and make sure you don't do this. Please don't try and be someone else. Wave if you guys have a favorite YouTuber you watch on a regular basis. Can I get a wave if you guys watch someone on a regular basis? Yeah. And wave if you think they're cool and they make really cool content. Yeah. Great. Even myself, I watch a lot of YouTubers on a regular basis who I think, you know what, I want to make content just like them. But one of the problems is that if you constantly think like this, you might end up trying to be like them. And unfortunately, that won't work. So one really, really big things, guys, that we want you to just take away. If you don't take away anything from this lesson, just remember this one thing. Always try and be authentic and make the stuff you want to make, not what you think will make you look cool, and not what you'll think, you know, be like trending on YouTube or the algorithm will pick up. Just do something that you enjoy and make it fun.
And I think the numbers are wrong. Fix that for a future session. I think what's also important to know is that being impatient is a very bad mistake. So what does this mean? It means when you first upload, maybe you only get 10 views, maybe you get 100, maybe you get 5. And then you see that and you think, oh no, like no one's watching my videos. There's no point. I'm going to quit. That's it. It doesn't matter. YouTube is not a sprint. It's a marathon. So what does that mean? It means you really have to take time. It will be sluggish. Maybe you won't get like the engagement that you want. But I think what's more important than people watching is, are you learning something from you creating your videos? Are you growing? Do you like making the things that you like making? And I think that's what's really important, because I know a lot of people, they think, okay, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be famous now. I want to be famous today. I'm going to make a viral video. The thing about being viral is it's a little bit unexpected. You know, there's no secret to being viral. And I think a lot of people see instant fame, instant success, and they're very attracted to that. And I think that's not really the point of why you guys should like keep in mind, or when you're trying to think about your channel as well. So I think, you know, it's okay, like be patient, keep making videos, keep making stuff, and as long as you enjoy what you're doing, that's all that matters. Because I know even when I upload, like it took me like maybe 4 or 5 years before I finally got an audience building. And during those 4 or 5 years, if I had quit, I would have never built the audience that I had now. But you just got to keep going. Sometimes people will like your stuff, sometimes they won't. And I think it's really important that as long as you like it, that's what matters as well. And I think what's important is to, like, you've listened to all of like our past sessions, maybe this is new, you've listened to all the tips and tricks. And I think there's nothing that anyone can tell you that will guarantee instant success. What really has to happen is that we can teach you all this stuff, but you have to actually go out there and you actually have to make something. And I think that's where you'll learn the most, and you'll even learn more than us sitting here talking to you, giving tricks. You learn out of you doing, because theory is theory. And if you don't apply your theory, then you're never going to learn. You'll never have a YouTube channel and you never grow. So I think my main advice and takeaway message from this lesson today is just go out there and make something, you know, make something cool, make something you like. It doesn't matter what it is. There's no such thing as like, what should my first YouTube video be? Your first YouTube video should be whatever you want it to be, and it should be something that you are proud that you made. And I think that's what's really important, and, you know, keep learning and keep growing.
So it's really simple, guys. Can guys give me a wave if you have an idea for a YouTube video? Can you guys wave? Yeah, I can see that's everyone. I can see Kristen, Tyler and Julian, Neil, yeah, Henry, cool. And can you guys wave to me if you guys have access to a camera, any type of camera? It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a phone, DSLR, yeah. And you have access to the internet, yeah. And you have access to YouTube, www.youtube.com. Then what's stopping you? You guys are literally clicks away from being your very own YouTubers. It doesn't mean you have to have hundreds or thousands of subscribers. All it is that you upload to YouTube and you make fantastic content. So I'm not sure, Divya. I think we should be seeing 446 new YouTubers, I'd say, over the next weekend. Can I get a thumbs up if you guys are going to make a YouTube video over the next weekend? Yeah? See Madison, Ali, Rafe, Louis, Ethan, Wilbur. Incredible stuff, guys. Incredible stuff. Perfect. And I think for that, guys, we've actually reached the end of the stuff we want to talk about, and we actually want to take it over to you. And normally we have a lot and lots of questions, and we never tend to get through them. So if you guys remember how to raise your hand virtually via Zoom, and then we can start actually taking your questions and hopefully going through it.
You can see a few people have already raised their hands on Zoom.
Yeah, so I think Ilya. Hi, Ilya.
Hello. So
What's your question?
So my question is, no, never mind. I don't have a question. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. That's
Sorry,
okay.
I forgot to lower my hand.
That's fine. Thank you. Ethan. Ethan's got a question. Oh. Ethan?
Yeah, so my question is, so at first I was thinking of making a video. So I made my first video because I watched the introduction, not live. I just watched it from home. And then when I made my video, like when I replayed it before I uploaded it, like I was talking normally like I am right now, but the audio was like horrible. Like it. So do you have any tips on like improving the audio or something?
Could I ask what you used to film that?
I just used my pure phone because I don't have like any special camera or like a webcam or anything like that.
That's fine. When you were speaking into the microphone, how far away from your phone were you?
It was just like this.
Like, I think, yeah, sometimes it might just be to do with the volume. So did you edit that by any chance, or did you just upload straight?
No, I just upload straight. I don't know how to edit.
when you were watching the video back on your phone, did it sound okay?
No, it sounded like when I had my computer up at full volume and I couldn't hear it.
So we normally recommend about 15 to 30 centimeters away from your phone. So if I'm speaking here, imagine you're taking a phone call. Did you record it on voice note? Like a voice note on your phone, or did you have the camera on?
No, I used camera and I went to video and then I hit record. So then I recorded the video and then I uploaded, and then you know how like you can upload videos from your phone on YouTube? So I went to YouTube and I uploaded my video, and then I replayed it and it was bad. So I just ended up deleting the video because it was because you couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, I think sometimes it depends on if you have like, sometimes when I'm filming on my phone as well, if I have like headphones in or if I have other stuff in, that can also affect the audio quality. I'm not sure why your phone, like microphone, didn't pick up your voice. I think that's really strange. I know that like you can like manually raise the volume of your video, but that does require editing. So I would I would first see if like, did you have like any headphones like inserted?
No, like the ones I'm wearing currently, I had them, but I had unplugged them when I used my video. And the headphones were plugged into the computer, which I was using to upload, but I was recording through my phone.
So when it comes to setting up, Ethan, one thing we really do recommend is that you experiment and you test. So what you can do is that you can take your phone, place it on the table, and then test and see at what distance from your phone do you have to be so that it can hear you perfectly. Because unfortunately, we don't know the acoustics or the way your room's set up, or all these different variables that can affect how the recording is going to pick up your voice. So one thing I really recommend is that you test out different ways in which you're recording, or how close your phone is to you, how far away, do you use your headphones. And that's something I do really recommend for everyone, because that way you'll be able to find the thing that best suits you.
But another question I have is for Diva. Like when you, like where you are right now, do you use like a audio, like not just like a phone, like do you use a certain camera that you can recommend to us?
It's not something that like I say, okay, go out purchase, because I don't think it's something you need. For me, I just purchased a microphone because I've been YouTubing for like 5 years now, and I think it's just important for me to get my own sound quality up. So I do use a microphone. This is the one that I use. This is kind of like one of the cheaper models. This is called the Takstar SGC 598, and I purchased this because I was like, okay, I'm not gonna purchase a really expensive microphone because I don't think I need that in my life, and I don't think it makes that much of a difference. So this is kind of like one of the cheaper-ish options that I use, but to be honest, I still get complaints that my audio is not the best. So I think like in terms of microphones, a lot of times, like 9 times out of 10, whatever you're using to record yourself is perfect. But I personally do use a Takstar.
Right then. Thank you for that, Ethan. Rachel, can you get Rachel muted? Hi, Rachel.
Hi.
Hello.
So my question is, if I want to upload a video with like a dance video and there's music playing, would I get copyrighted for having that music?
This is a perfect question because I have dealt with copyright hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. So what normally happens is if you use music in your videos, and a lot of times this is like popular music, what happens is either the company or YouTube will find that music in your video and you will get copyrighted. And it really depends on what song you're using. So for example, some of my videos, I've put in like literally 3 seconds of a song, but then the algorithm picks it up and they're like, nope, copyright. So what that means is sometimes people in certain countries can't watch your videos. Sometimes it won't be able to be viewable on mobile. And sometimes they just say like, no, you just can't upload this at all. So I think it very much depends on what song that you're using, and it depends on what their rules are for that song. So I say if it is a popular song, chances are they will do some sort of copyright on it. I think when you do upload, if you go to the creator studio or you just look at your videos, there's a button near copyright that says details, and it will tell you exactly what that means. So does it mean it's blocked in USA? Does that mean that you just can't like monetize it, which means make money from it? Or does it mean that people just can't see it at all? So I think it's very much situational, but if you are using music without permission, then you will probably face copyright.
Cool. Thank you for that, Rachel. Ashley from Lexington. We're going to have to quickly start going through rapid fire answers, guys, by the way, because we're running out of time. I want to get through as many people as possible.
So I watch my favorite YouTuber is the LeBrant fam. It's about they're vloggers. And they have very many followers. And this is not my concern. I just wanted to know. But do you have to like do a special like way to earn money on YouTube? Or is it just like you just like make videos and they give it to you, or it's not that I'm concerned. Like I'm not gonna do it just for the money. No, it's like just like to know.
Yeah.
That's great. We love to hear that you don't want to do it for the money and you want to do it for the fun, Ashley.
I think doing YouTube for money is actually like quite difficult, especially nowadays. In terms of getting money, you have to firstly be monetized. So you have to have over a certain amount of subscribers. And it just means that there's different ways to make money on YouTube. The most popular way is through adverts. So sometimes you're watching a video, you get an advert in the middle, you get an advert at the front. Well, those adverts help the people that you're watching make money. So the more people watch your adverts, the more money you'll make. It won't be like that much. It just depends on how many views you get. So that's what we call monetization in the YouTube field. But you have to be quite big and have a certain number of views or subscribers to start getting like real money out of it.
Cool. We have Catherine from Tennessee.
Okay, I just had a question about editing software, because I edit my videos on my Mac and I just use the thing that it's already in there, but all the editing is like early 2000s styled thing and it's kind of cheesy looking. Yeah. So like what editing software should I use?
Do you use iMovie?
Yes.
iMovie should be good. That's very strange. I think with iMovie, I'm sure you can play around with it so that it doesn't look so like 2000s. I know what you mean. I've seen a lot of like old videos like that. In terms of software, I know there's like free apps that you can download. I think WeFilm is quite good. I think if you download some of like the apps on like a tablet or whatever, Windows PC, if some of the newer apps that people have created are probably more relevant to today. So I would just look around, to be honest. I don't think there's like the best app because it just depends on what you find comfortable using. So I would say search around. I personally use something a little bit more advanced because I use Premiere Pro, but like I think that's like too much for the majority of what like people want to use. So I'd say it doesn't really matter which one you use. Just look for an option that you find comfortable to use. I think is more important.
Great, thank you for that, Catherine. Right, guys, we only have time for one more question, and to make it fair for everyone, because I can see about 1, 2, 3.
Well, people are ready.
40 questions. Oh, people already getting their hands there. Perfect. All right, guys. So if you have a question, I want your hands to the screen, and we're going to do it as if we're asking you a question. So I'm going to count them from 3, 2, 1, go. And on go, the first person to open their hands. I can see a lot of you guys practicing. The first person to open their hand is someone who we're going to ask for their question. So Divya, I will give you the honors of counting down.
Okay. So I'm going to do the fastest that I can try. So get ready. Make sure you guys are listening. All right. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, 300 of you guys just went like that. Whoa.
I can't decide. You're going to have to decide.
I think that was Tala and Julian.
I don't have a question.
Hey guys.
Hi.
What's your question?
I was wondering, like, Taylor, What were you gonna say? Nothing. Taylor, go. Go.
No, you guys don't have a question? Okay, right. We'll put that back to the floor then. All right, guys, hands up. Right. And Divya, over to you.
All right, okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
I think that was, oh God, Lucas with the green headphones.
Yeah.
Hi, Lucas.
I was wondering, what are the other ways to make money? Because I've heard of things like Patreon and stuff, which you can make money on. So how do those work?
Mm-hmm. So Patreon is when your subscribers kind of give you money, if that makes sense. So that's like if your subscribers, if you build a community big enough and your subscribers really want to help you make more content, I think that's what Patreon is for. Other ways are stuff like getting sponsored. So sometimes you or a company will reach out, be like, hey, can you talk about, you know, our product in your video, and we'll kind of you negotiate a fee or a price on that. So yeah, apart from AdSense, it's Patreon, which is when your subscribers or your community also fund, or company sponsorships. That's like the main 3 ways that people make money.
All right then, guys. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to call it there. Thank you very, very much for everyone who's asked questions. And unfortunately, for those who haven't been able to ask their questions for today, I can see Michaela's throwing her hands. I can see Evan's really frustrated. If you guys can write it down, and hopefully next week we can hopefully get around to you guys. I can see Jacob's frustrated. I'm really sorry, guys. We've run out of time. Or if you do want, I'm sure you can email us actually, and throw your question in the email. Or while we're wrapping up, maybe message myself or Divya, and hopefully we can reply back to you. I shall hand it over to Chastity.